happening here? Hey, Facebook, hi. Second time tonight that I am live. If you missed the Facebook Live I did earlier with Mr. Magic, you missed out on his famous recipe for chicken wild rice and mushroom soup. So I'm going live tonight to answer some of your business questions that you put on my page today, or questions that you have right here. Listen, our house is a hot stinking mess right now. Hi, Daddy.
Hey, what's up?
And there's going to be loudness, and you're just going to have to deal because we have lots of kids. And the kids are a little restless. The troops are restless. School has been canceled in Kansas City again tomorrow. I swear these kids are going to be going to school until the 4th of July. So just deal with the noise. Just ignore the chaos and focus right here because we've got some work to do. I asked a question earlier on my Facebook page, and I said, what's tripping you up in your business right now? We had 250 people comment. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with 250 people who follow me struggling in their business. And to whom much is given, much will be required. That's a biblical concept. And so I want to give as much as I can by way of information, tips, ideas, words from the Lord, whatever I can for you in the next 20 to 30 minutes. So we're gonna get busy. If you have a question, I want you to type it here in the comments. But I'm also going to be reading the things that were submitted earlier. Okay. All right. So I want to tell you, how many of you struggle with finding a niche? That you have too many ideas. I'm going to talk about this real quick, okay? Here's what happens with creative people. This is why you have squirrel syndrome. Anybody else with squirrel syndrome? Christina's got school canceled tomorrow too. God bless you, moms and dads and big sisters, right, Ava? Yeah. God bless you all. What are you guys doing back there? Because we see you.
Huh?
We see you. What are you doing?
Oh, she's a superhero.
Oh, okay. Ari is a... Oh, look at you, girl.
I'm a superhero.
You are a superhero. I love you. Bye, sweetie.
She's a superhero. We gotta
She's
go
awesome.
take
She's
out
got her
recycling
pick.
stuff.
Okay. Oh, they're taking out recycling. The ice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so hashtag squirrel syndrome. Somebody write that in the comments if that's you. So this is why we suffer from squirrel syndrome. I want you to know it's not something you can fix, creatives. And I want you to know it's not your fault, okay? The reason you have squirrel syndrome is because if you'll think about it differently, and instead of thinking about it as a curse, I want you to think about it as a blessing. Here's why. Because when God decided to make you a creative, he needed you to have the ability to think about a lot of different things. So this is why, like, what can I hold up here for a decoration? Okay, we've got a bread bowl on the kitchen table. I'm literally using props right in front of me. So if you were to come in my house right now and you're a creative person, you could look at this bread bowl and you could be like, hey girl, you could fill that with flowers. You could fill that with mossy balls. You could put some cute Valentine stuff in there. You could throw some fluffy chickens and who knows what else. Oh gosh, Lord Jesus, don't let me drop that. In order for you to actually be creative, you have to have ideas. So what I see creative people doing all the time is they're like, oh, I've got so many ideas. Sweetie, count your blessings you have ideas. How many of you are following me right now? And the only reason you like to follow me is because my voice lulls your children to sleep. This is what a handful of you have told me, that my voice makes your babies fall asleep at night. I'm going to just assume that that's a compliment. How many of you are not creative and wish that you were? Type in the comments, non-creative. How many of you are not creative and wish that you were? So when a non-creative looks at this bread bowl, they're like, why the heck does she have grass in there? They don't have the ideas. So you're like walking around going, oh, I've got so many ideas, like Christina Viktorovich. If you know Christina, please tag her here. I hope, Christina, you hear this. So you're walking around thinking, I've got too many ideas, I've got too many ideas. And then you've got non-creatives over here going, thinking, Jesus, please just give me an idea. If you have too many ideas, this is the solution for you. Write this down, okay? Here's the solution. You have to be able to like, look at this, like all these things up in the air, right? I feel like I watched this movie recently where there was like numbers in the air and he had to like put them into this thing. Does anybody know what movie I'm talking about? He would like see all this stuff. He was a little, oh, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart. And he saw numbers, am I right? And they were like floating around the sky. And he would like shift them down so he could do math and all the things in whatever probably non-Christ-like movie that was, but I still watched it. Sorry, Pastor Philip. And so, so as creatives, what you have to be able to do is go, okay, I have all these ideas. I'm going to pull one down. and I'm gonna do one for now. Now here's what creative people do. I ain't doing one. I don't wanna do one. I don't wanna just pick mossy balls in a bread bowl. What if I don't wanna do mossy balls forever? What if I wanna do glass covered balls in the bread bowl? What if I wanna do melted crayons in the bowls? What if I wanna start making the bowls? Jennifer, I don't wanna pick one thing. Well, listen, this isn't for infinity. This is to get started. Somebody write this down. You have to, at some point, pick a starting point. It's at least something that you can get known for, that you can get exceptional at, and that you can gain some confidence in. Because when you're doing this business over here, and you're trying to pull all of them down, you're not gonna make any headway. And the best way to frustrate yourself is with that action. So I need for you creative people to be, first of all, quit thinking you're cursed with squirrel syndrome. You're not. Squirrel syndrome for the win. Squirrel syndrome rocks. Ideas rock. I need you to know that. Ask my husband, don't my ideas rock, baby?
Oh, some of them are good.
He takes the brunt of my squirrel syndrome. He gets all the ideas. Like literally, I'm talking about one thing, I switch in conversation 20 times. I wish you guys would quit seeing the way that God wired you as a miswiring. It ain't a miswiring. You got exactly what you need to be profitable and successful in your business. But it's gonna start with you taking one idea and implementing that. Now, how do you pick the one idea? Jennifer, I like sewing and cooking and baking and underwater basket weaving all. Okay, what will the market actually pay you for? What are you really good at and what do you enjoy? Because here's the problem. You can be really good at something, but you hate to do it. I used to be really good at being like an administrative assistant. I don't know how, but I was. I used to be really good at that, and but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So it has to be something that you like, that people will pay you for, and that you're really good at. I used to be really good at bartending. No, I didn't. I was terrible. I was terrible. Don't listen to that. I was awful. And the reason I was awful is because I would tell people, the problem is you're sitting here in the chair. Want to fix your home? Go home. Want to fix your marriage? Go home. Want to fix your kids? Go home. So I was not really a good bartender. But I could do it. So here's the point. I could do bartending, but I hated it. Like, you have to figure out, what are people going to pay you for? Because if it's underwater basket weaving, ain't nobody going to pay you for that. What are you really good at that you also enjoy? Because you can enjoy some things and not be good at them. Does that make sense? Look.
That's
Look.
what Daddy did.
What you got, honey? What is it? What's in there? Is it a baby?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the towel. You're so silly. So, creative people, you are not wrongly wired, okay? But I need for you to stop with the, I can't decide on one thing. For some of you, you could decide on one thing by midnight. You just don't want to. Calling you out just a little bit. Love you, Ariana.
Come on,
Some of you would rather to continue to say, oh, I can't decide, than actually decide and risk it failing. Listen to me. Listen, Linda, you're going to have to pick something and just start there. You can always pivot. You can always change. You can always add to. You can always flex. You can always do all the things. But if you don't ever start, you're going to stay stuck, okay? So that is my answer to Christina Viktorovich, who says she needs to figure out what to do to find a niche because she has too many ideas. Okay, let's see. What else? Okay, let me go to the next question. Okay, Devery Branson Hashaw says, my head is literally spinning. I go in too many directions at a time and I end up getting zero done. Okay, this happens with so many creative people and so many business owners. I'm stuck on a business name, so I need to jump over that hurdle and keep moving forward. Okay, Devery, you can't get stuck on little things like a business name, because while you're dilly-dallying, and I'm gonna have some tough love here because I wanna get through these quickly, but tell me if you can relate to this. While you're dilly-dallying, trying to figure out a name for a business that feels right, your competitors are like, I got a name by midnight, I got that business Facebook page up, I'm getting the stuff that I need into my accountant tomorrow, I'm getting a website done, I am on it. Listen, the people that are winning at business are not contemplating decisions for 6 months. At least not the ones that are reversible and not permanent. And for those of you who are believers, such as myself, very few things on the side of heaven are permanent. Very few things. Very few things. Your business name is not one of them. So you name it something and you hate it in 3 months. Is it a pain in your butt to change? Yes, absolutely. But pick something that's halfway good today and start. Let me give you also an example, or not an example, but an idea. Ask your friends. Ask your friends. This too, Devery, I love you. But this nonsense of you're stuck on a business name, nope. Devery, if you're here, I want you to write out every business name idea you have, and my people right here will vote on it. Devery, if you're in my free Facebook group, which we have going for entrepreneurs right now, I want you to put a post in there tonight. We will have a business name for you by the end of the night. Okay? Because these are decisions that while you're trying to figure them out, you are losing money. And you're stuck in a stinking cell for 9 to 5 every day. You hate it. Your kids want to take ballet lessons, but we got to get you some additional revenue. And we can't do it while you're like, oh, I just can't come up with a business name. Yes, you can. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. I love you. Pull the trigger on something. When you hate it in 6 months, you go about the business of changing it. But if you are going to wait another 6 months to contemplate, every day that you're waiting, number one, it's not even about money. It's if God is calling you to this, every day you're waiting is delayed obedience. I'm going to give somebody a mind-blown moment right now, okay? Delayed obedience is disobedience. Delayed obedience is disobedience. Here's what that means. Here's what that means. When I say to my son, I used this example the other day of Noah's not confident about mopping. I don't care. I still said mop, right? Okay, because I'm the mom. And that's how I think God feels about us. I don't care that you don't like your business name. You're still supposed to start. Like, it'll work out. If God is telling you to do something, whether that is be obedient and quit your 9 to 5, start a side job, help your husband in his business, adopt a child, like whatever God's asking you to do, and you are sitting on it, and you're delaying, and you're thinking, and you're contemplating, think of how as a parent that makes you feel when your kids do that. So if I say, Noah, I need you to mop the floor right now, and 2 hours later, Noah's still not mopped the floor, guess who's going to be slightly miffed about that? Mama Bear. When I asked you to mop the floor, I asked you to mop the floor now. I expect, as a parent, for you to do things when I ask and not when you feel ready. I expect you to do things when I ask and not when you have time for it. And so some of you, and this is for a word for somebody. Thank you, Nikki. This is a word for somebody. Maybe not for all of you, but for somebody. Some of you have the idea, you have the business name, you're already in business. God's asking you to break up with a business partner. He's asking you to open up a second location. He's asking you to start Pinterest parties in the evening. He's asking you to do something, but you're holding on to it because you're like, you don't have it figured out yet. Sweetie, you're gonna figure it out as you go. You're gonna figure it out as you go. That's how we all learn. If you're thinking that at some point you'll figure it all out and then you'll hit go, you are lying to yourself. The way you figure out how to parent a newborn baby is by actually doing the swaddle, by actually having the crying darling. The way you figure out how to take care of a newborn is you actually bring them home from the hospital, and that's how you figure out how to parent, by parenting. You will figure out how to do business by businessing. Does that make sense? I love you so much. I am not trying to be, what are the words, brash? Insensitive. I'm not trying to be cold. I'm trying to light a fire under your butt. Some of you do not have time for this nonsense. You have got people in your life that need you to get on the ball. They're either watching you, Mom, and they need your example. Or 2, you've got people in your family that need your help. They need you to make some money. Or 3, you have people who are watching you that they will never grasp what's possible for their own life until they see you walk it out in your own. So for those of you mamas, I'm talking to my mama friends right now, right here, okay? For those of you who are like, what did this precious woman Devery say? Hang on. She's feeling more confident, but she's stuck on the business name, okay? So listen, that's precious, Devery. But for those of you who are like, kids, be confident. Kids, go make that friend on the playground. Kids, try out for soccer. Kids, go out for student council. Kids, you can do it. But you as the mom have the idea that God gave you. You've got the passion in your heart, but you're sitting on it because you're scared. What a disservice you're doing to those babies. What a disservice you're doing. And I'm preaching to myself right now, okay? You don't have to have it figured out. You have to be obedient. And that means now, not 6 months from now. So tonight, Devery, you're stuck on the business name. Devery, put in your options right here. We will get a business name for you going before midnight, and I mean that. Because I cannot have all of you anointed, appointed, creative geniuses sitting on your hands for even a minute longer. There is no time for it. There's no time for it. Okay, let me get some more questions. Whew. Paula Cobbett Lantang. Everybody's like, oh gosh, don't call on me. Don't call on me. Don't call on me. Okay, Paula Cobbett Lantang, I'm going to tell you something. She said her issue is stepping out of her comfort zone. The thought of doing a live video makes you nauseous. You know what? Not everybody is made for live video. Not everybody is designed for this. This causes me this much anxiety. Now you put me in a crowd of 2,000 people and ask me to speak, I'm going to have a nervous diarrhea. It's going to happen. You put me on a video in front of 2,000 people, not a drop of sweat on me, okay? So not everybody is created for live video. I'm going to put my link right here into my free pop-up group that's only around till next Friday, so please don't delay on joining us in this pop-up group. In the pop-up group on Friday, I'm pinning this comment to the top of the thread. If you go to creatorsroadmap.com, that's where you can find it. On Friday in the group, we're taking a quiz. And the quiz is based on your personality and your likes and dislikes. So for you, Paula, I can already guarantee you that when it comes to like the 6 different ways that you can make money online, you're probably not going to be a good fit for DIY videos, regardless of what industry you're even in. Maybe you're in dog walking and you want to do some videos. It's not going to be a good fit for you if you can't stand video. So there's lots of other things that I would suggest you do, but you don't have to do a live video. Here's the deal. If it's your business, you don't have to do jack crap and nothing. You don't have to even pay taxes. You'll go to jail, but you don't have to. When it's your business, you're the boss of you, right? So let's say, Paula, that you just don't love the camera being on you. It makes you feel very tense. It makes you feel very anxious. Okay, so I don't know what you do, Paula. Let's just look and see what Paula does for a business. Hang tight here. Paula does, Paula's gonna hate me because I'm calling on her. Paula. Woo, Paula. Paula. When I click on Paula's precious profile, her business is not, wait, yes it is. Okay, thank you, Jesus. I was going to say, if you are one of my people, Paula, you know better. She knows better. Her business is called Northeast Charm Designs. I'm guessing she makes signs based on her Facebook page. If you don't make signs, Paula, you need to change what your page looks like right now, because that's what I think you do. Okay, so what was her question? Oh, okay, so let's say she's making signs and she's been in my coaching and she knows that if you do a Facebook Live, this Facebook Live will reach by morning probably 30,000 people. If I was to upload the same video, if I was to sit and record myself and stop and restart because I hated something I said, or I can't believe that I have a pimple on my forehead, or Ari's running around the background, this live video will go to 7 times the amount of people that a static recorded video. So, Paula, you don't have to do a live video, but if you can get your signs in front of 7 times more people, is it worth it for you? That's the question. Is it worth it for you? Are you like, I will put how I feel aside because of hashtag algorithm? And it doesn't mean that you have to have the camera on your face. If you make signs, baby, turn that camera down to your hands and just do something down here. Nobody has to necessarily see your face. Or what if your sister-in-law, who is bubbly as heck, cutie patootie, loves being in front of a camera, what if you film her doing something with your signs? Or what if one of your kids holds a sign? Or what if you pay your neighbor $10 to literally come over and film your hands? I mean, there's lots of ideas here. Creatives, you don't lack ideas. Be creative about how you're going to do your business. You don't have to go live. Nobody has to do anything in their business. But you will get 7 times the reach on a live. And for some of you, you're like, 7 times? Yes, 7 times. Facebook has said if you will go live on Facebook, we will show the content to 6 to 7 times the amount of people. We will a pre-recorded video. So you're gonna have to just either pull up your big girl panties and do it, or figure out a way to do a live video that you feel comfortable with. How do you feel comfortable? Whatever you feel comfortable with is what I want you to do. But I would really love for you to do it live because I want you to have 7 times the traffic to your page. Come on, hallelujah. All right, Amanda Espervoya. Oh, I can't say it. Amanda Espervoya. There we go. Thank you, tongue, for cooperating. Her biggest issue right now is time. She's at a full-time cubicle job. Okay, Amanda, this was my life 17, 18 years ago, 19. It's all a blur. I worked full-time for a telecom company. I've had a little bit too much caffeine today, by the way. Janelle, you always go on a business page. Don't do your business on a personal page. You are... Nancy, are you telling me to get a facelift? I don't think Nancy's meaning I need a facelift, but maybe. And Nancy, I'm pretty liberal with letting people comment whatever they want, but when they start talking about my wrinkles, I tend to ban and delete. I don't think you're talking about me, though. I think maybe you're saying that's your challenge, maybe. I love you. Squirrel, where did I go? Okay, full-time cubicle. So here's what happens when you have to have a full-time cubicle. You guys are going to understand. I don't care if you're a creative business owner or not. You're going to relate to this. How many of you, when you have your Franklin day planner or your day designer, which is what I use, how many of you, when you have like a list a mile long, you're very productive. You'll knock that crap out. Might work a few extra hours, but you'll get it done. Now, how many of you, when you have a Saturday off and you have a list of stuff you want to get done, you'll get like hardly any of it done? And you're like, where did the day go? What just happened? Okay, there's this, it's called the theory of something. Cindy, if my community manager Cindy is on here, you always know the smart word for this, Cindy. It's like, it's not Pavlov. Isn't he the guy that dings bells? It's somebody's law of something, which essentially just means this. It's like, we'll spend whatever amount of money we make. So if we make $10,000 a year, we'll blow that. If we make $100,000 a year, we'll blow that. If we make $1 million a year, we'll somehow blow that. If we'll fit stuff into the amount of time that we're given. So for this precious woman, Amanda, who says you have a full-time job, listen, you can be more productive, Amanda, than half of these women listening to me right now who do their business full-time. I was more productive when I had 3 babies at home than I probably am today in my business. Why? Well, because I knew I only had certain chunks of time to get all that crap done. They only sleep for 2 hours in the afternoon. They go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. I can work till about 10 when, hashtag I need my sleep sets in. And so I would bust out in those 2 hours what it would take some people to do in 8. So Amanda, that is not a handicap that you have a full-time job. It's not a handicap. I had 2 different people on Instagram tonight DM me that they're in a cubicle. How do I know when it's time to quit? Somebody write this down. Somebody write in the comments to go to the podcast app, search for Jennifer Allwood Show, Quit Day Job. And I sent that podcast to 2 different people. There's 5 ways you know when it's time for you to get out of that day job. And yes, I bring Jesus into that because that is front and center. It doesn't matter what any business person tells you. It doesn't matter what your checkbook tells you. When God says go, you go. And that's the end of that. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. Diane Shelton says knowledge is what's holding her back, but she's going to learn from me. I think she's in my free group. Thank you, Diane, for being there. Listen, in today's day and age, you can learn anything about anything. Half of you watching right now, you have kids that are still in the house, but they're middle school and high schoolers. Those kids can do more with you in technology and social media than they could run circles around us middle-agers. Am I right? They could run circles around us. So if you're struggling with technology, call a teenager. You want that new pair of Forever 21 jeans? So honey, you're going to show me how to do Instagram stories. You want gas in the car this week and mom to pay the insurance on it? Okay. You're about to film me while I do something in the house that needs to go on my blog. You live here, you're going to help mom. Like, it's just a no-brainer for me. I know I'm sounding so, like, non-sensitive, but you could have used technology as an excuse a decade ago, but you can't today. You can't today because everything you're able to Google, you can look up how to do anything on YouTube. There are so many resources. Go to Fiverr.com. Hire somebody for $12 an hour who can set something up on your website for you. You can't use technology for an excuse any longer. My podcast, not next week, but the week after, is called Creatives and Technology, the Monster in Your Mind. Because some of you have made technology into this huge thing where you're like, there's no way I can figure it out. Like, I'm old, I'm not smart enough, I'm not savvy enough, I barely can figure out how to do, upload a picture of my cat to Facebook. I'll never be able to figure out. Those are some of the lies that you guys tell yourself about technology that I talk about in that podcast. Okay. Hang on. Let me find another one. Carmen Nunez. This is a good one, Carmen. I love you. I'm going to give it to you straight, though. Her biggest challenge in her business right now is motivation. Sometimes I just don't know where to start. The idea is there. I just don't have the motivation to start. Carmen, what you need is a little bit of desperateness. It's a level of desperateness. You aren't hungry enough. You aren't hungry enough. Right now, I have gone back to eating no sugar. Why? Because I am desperate to lose the 20 pounds that I have gained. I hate it. I hate it. I don't want this anymore. There's a level of desperateness to that. I will go ahead and do something that's uncomfortable for me. I would love, especially since we have 11,000 of you as of tonight, almost. Are we at 11,000 in that group? In a Facebook group that I anticipated would have 2,000 people. And we are at 10,900 members tonight. That makes me want to go straight to the pantry for all the Hershey's Kisses. That makes me want to down a bag of M&Ms like it is yesterday. It makes me want to take a spoon to the raw chocolate chip cookie dough or dump chocolate chips into peanut butter and eat it straight out of the can. Okay? I mean, any other emotional eaters here? What keeps me from doing that this week is the little bit of desperateness I feel about how tight my pants are. And so for some of you, when you're lacking motivation, it's because you're not hungry. You're not desperate enough. And I know that when I started my painting job, I was desperate to not have to go back to corporate America. I was desperate. I'm like, what can I do to make this a success so I never have to go back to cubicle jail again? I'll do anything. I'll do anything. I don't want to go back to a pager and pantyhose and pretending I like sitting there while I'm stealing that company's money because I'm Googling how to make houses pretty all day. I don't want to do that. And I felt this level of desperateness. That will do more for you than anything else. If you can't feel a level of desperateness about your situation, I want you to figure out what in your life matters more to you than your own comfort level. Is it being a good example for your children? Is it putting food on the table? Let me tell you what, if you lose your day job tomorrow, your spouse gets laid off, that'll light a fire of desperateness right under your booty in a New York second. So if you're lacking motivation, I don't know that that's something that anybody can teach you. If you wanted to, you could say one of the gutsiest prayers on the planet and ask God to give you motivation. But you never know how he's going to answer that one. So beware. Okay, let's see. I cannot, for the life of me, hardly see the screen anymore because what happened to my eyes? My eyes and my thighs. This is what I say. I want the eyes and the thighs of my 30s back. Okay, let me read some of your questions that are here live on my phone. Okie dokie. All right. Amanda Tamp says, you're here live, Amanda. Should I have 2 Facebook pages if I make painted wood signs and vinyl shirts? Amanda, if you are rocking one page and you want to start the other, that's fine. If you are not rocking both pages, no, just keep it one. If you are, where did the comments, does anybody else notice Facebook's drunk today? I mean, Facebook, I love you, but you've been wonky. Here's the deal, Amanda, also. If you ever have, I was telling somebody this in our free pop-up group the other day, if you ever have any desire to sell one of these pieces of your business, then do two Facebook pages. Okay. Hang on. I need a car. A payment is initial goal. That's your hunger, says Laura. Good job, Laura. Okay. Procrastination is her demon, says Gayleen. Gayleen, watch your words, baby. I'm really sensitive to words, and so I don't want you to talk about having demons. Procrastination, let's say, is your Achilles tendon. After a week or two painting daily, I stop and I can't get going again. Okay. Are you burned out? That's often a sign of burnout. When you're procrastinating, that's often a sign you're burnout. I do have another podcast. If you go to the Jennifer Allwood Show and do a search for the word Jennifer Allwood Show burnout, I have a whole podcast on how God uses burnout in our businesses if we'll let him. Usually burnout is a sign that you ain't charging enough and you're feeling bitter and burned out because you're not making enough money. It's also a sign that you need to do some creating for yourself. Somebody lean way in and listen to this. Some of you makers, crafters, painters, DIYers, you will get this little bit of like agitation and you feel unsettled and you're lacking the motivation to do your job. And I'm going to tell you why. You haven't done it for yourself in a minute. I firmly believe that when God gave you the gift of creativity, he didn't only give it to you to serve others, but to serve your own life. And ask any woman that's in this group who has gone through a divorce, and ask her how creating helped save her life. Ask any woman who has gotten out of a terrible relationship who is a creative, and she'll tell you creating saved her life. So I think when God gives us the gift, it's not only to serve everybody else, but it's also to enjoy for ourselves. So if I went around and just decorated other people's homes and yet never did anything in my own, I would feel unmotivated. I would feel like everybody else gets the benefit of this, but my house is a train wreck. So if that's you, do something for yourself. Be creative for yourself. Use your gift. Take a little time and do it for yourself. And then the other way that God really uses burnout, I think I have 5 ways in that podcast, is he uses burnout as a way to pivot you. Because here's the deal. If you were going about your world of creative, making, doing whatever, and you were just super duper content, why would you ever change? Why would you ever do anything different? It's when we feel discontent and we lack the motivation that God can shift us, that he can show us like a peek behind a curtain to where we can see something that looks shiny. We see something that looks interesting. It starts that fire back up. One of the things I'm loving about this Rev Up Your Revenue free pop-up group on Facebook that I have is so many women are like, they're laying awake at night. I had women telling me last night, I cannot sleep because of all the ideas I now have. I love that. Here's what I know to be true. Some of you have gotten in the weeds with your business, meaning the joy is lacking a little bit from it because now you have to do it. You have to do it to make the mortgage. And then you have like this assembly line and you can't kind of get off the hamster wheel where you got to keep doing it for clients and you got to keep doing it and you got to keep doing it and you can't you're lacking joy because the very thing that you started because you were obsessed with and loved and you turned into a business is now a responsibility. And now you have all these clients depending on you. And now you're like, I love what I created, but my goodness, can I catch a breath? And so I think sometimes God will give us this little peek behind the curtain to possibilities. And that's how he's able to shift us from where we're currently at because we're not feeling it anymore to where we really are supposed to be. So, okay, what else? My goodness, you guys are leaving me such amazing comments. Thank you for sharing this too. I appreciate you guys. Robin says painting and creating helped her to heal after her husband suddenly passed away. That is truth right there, Robin. First of all, big hugs to you. But I have told so many of my creative people, don't downplay the fact that creating and doing something that stirs that in your soul is saving your life right now. Okay. And also, Robin, was her name Robin? Do me a favor and go follow this woman on Facebook or Instagram called One Fit Widow. I don't know her personally. She doesn't know me. I send anyone who is dealing with grief over the loss of a loved one to her page. She is really brilliant with dealing with grief. Go follow her. Okay. Okay. Renee Adams says, how do you get 7,000 people watching your lives? I have 355,000 people on this page, Renee, and I've never even hit 3,000 watching me at once. Why are you wanting 7,000 people to watch your lives? Oh, maybe not live, but like on the replay. Will you deliver amazing content that people want to share? I hope people are enjoying this so much right now that they're going to share it, because then it's going to be on their own page that they can go back and watch later on when they're feeling a little lazy and they need that swift kick in the butt. I hope they share it because they have other people in their world that need to see this and hear this also. So when you give really good content, people are going to share. And that's how you get more and more people viewing the content. Okay, hang on. I'll answer a couple more here. Okay, Christy Craven says her biggest issue is reaching my target audience. She's having major marketing issues. Okay, who was on my Facebook Live last night? We talked about what is the definition of marketing. What is the definition of marketing? I have my definition of marketing, and it's different from everybody else in the world. Here's how I define marketing. You believe that what you do or make is good, and you're willing to tell people that what you do or make is good. That's marketing in a nutshell. Somebody write that down, okay? When you believe in your heart that what you've got is good and you're willing to tell other people about it, that's marketing. I have been telling you guys all week about this free Facebook group because we're delivering fire in there. They are getting amazing videos, quizzes, homework, aha moments, breakthroughs, relationships with other people. It's kicking butt and taking names. I have no problem telling you that. I have no problem. In fact, it's my duty to tell you that. And so for you who just asked, where did that come? Okay, Christy, you don't have major marketing issues. You just have a problem with, do you really believe that what you've got for sale or for a service is really good? And are you telling people? Now, finding your ideal client may be challenging, but you talking about what you do and you positioning what you do to your audience, if you really firmly believe in what you do, that should not be a challenge for you. Let me know if I can further help you in that area. What? My screen just went black. Look at that. Look at that. Jan, thank you for sharing. I hear ice literally hitting my windows right now. Okay, I think I'm dying. Seriously, I just don't know what is happening with Facebook today. Okay, let's see. Your marketing strategy too. That's your marketing strategy, Jody? Good. That's she built a 6-figure business. Good. Sandra, the soup was excellent. We gave the whole thing to my best friend and her family for dinner because Mama's trying to avoid the heavy whipping cream because hashtag 20 pounds from carbs this winter. Okay, Taryn Sykes says she hates tooting her own horn. Taryn, friend, who I don't know. You are not tooting your own horn. Okay, listen to me. Do you think Coca-Cola feels like it's tooting its horn when it does a commercial? Heck no. Coca-Cola knows if it doesn't tell people about Coca-Cola, it's going to go broke. So ladies, you're not tooting your own horn. You are showing the world that I have makeup bags for sale. You are showing the world that I am super talented at putting flowers in a vase. Mr. Magic made these for me. I would tell, did I say he made them? He bought these for me. I would tell you why, but you're gonna giggle. But him and I have to do a little skit thing together for Facebook. And it might involve rose petals and the most vulnerable thing I've ever done. There could be a bathtub involved. Lord have mercy. You're not tooting your own horn. You're telling people, I make makeup bags. You want a makeup bag? I got a great makeup bag. My makeup bag is amazing. It holds all of my crap. It zips up really nicely. It's not that much money. It sparkles. I love my makeup bag. Would you like a makeup bag? That is marketing. That is not tooting your own horn. That is feeding your family. Girlfriend, I love you so much. Change your mind. Shift your mind. You're not tooting your own horn. You're not a slimy, sleazy salesperson. You are a business owner who has a job to tell the world what she does. Or you're going to go broke. You're never going to make any money. Listen, I have said for years, if you treat your business like a business, it will pay you like a business. And businesses tell people, I have stuff for sale. If you treat your business like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. What does that look like in real life? Well, that looks like, so what do you do for a living, Jennifer? Well, I just, a little business. Do you have a Facebook page? Well, I haven't started it yet because I can't really think of the name. What are you going to sell on it? Well, there's a lot of things that I want to sell. I'm like kind of like a jack of all trades, but master of none. I don't even remember if that's the right way to say that or not. Those are all signs of hobby. Those are not signs of business. A business makes you money. And in order to make money, you have to be willing to tell people you have something for sale. Like, it is literally a A plus B equals C equation. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Okay, let's see. Stephanie Young appeared and says, I live in a small town where there's a lot of ladies doing the same thing. I'm at a disadvantage because I'm not from here. You're being left behind where everyone else is moving forward. No, Stephanie. Stephanie, you are my people. You're my people. Stephanie, please tell me you're in my free Facebook group. Please tell me you're there. Because here is the issue with what you just said. You're in a small town. There's a bunch of ladies doing the same thing. So you are thinking that your market is saturated. You're not even telling me that yet, and that's already, I know what you're thinking in your mind. Because I've been you. I know what you're thinking. So you think your market is saturated, and so therefore you're wondering, like, why the heck even bother? I'm not a local. They don't accept people that are not locals. You got to remember, I grew up in a town of 1,800 people when I lived there. Okay, so I get it. Small town America, I get it. I love it. I've got it. The problem with so many small town business owners is that they don't realize that they can sell outside of their community. Why are you, like, literally sticking yourself? You're making yourself stuck when you have that thinking. Why aren't you thinking that what you do, you can sell on the interwebs to the whole wide world? Like, virtually everything is for sale on the internet anymore. Gosh, I wish I had some water. Do you need a website? Possibly. Yep, the cost of doing business. The cost of getting your business outside of that little town is you're going to have to invest in a website, which, by the way, check with your accountant, is a tax deduction, which, by the way, is your business card in the online space. If you really want your business to be taken seriously, you have to have a website. You literally have to. You cannot be in 2019 and be like, oh, I think I can just work with Etsy. Okay, I love you, but Etsy is not enough. Etsy is a good start, but it's not enough. People want to buy from businesses that they perceive as professional. And if you don't have a website, the perception, whether it's true or not, the perception is this is a mom and pop shop. They aren't serious about business. How do I know if I buy something, they're even going to send it to me? That's the perception. You have to get more legit. That is a rap song, Too Legit to Quit. Who sang that? Let me think. Who sang Too Legit to Quit? I'm going back now to my Dance America days in Sioux City, Iowa. Okay, I think my blood pressure's up. And my phone is dead. And this could be a good sign that my time here is done. I love you all. If you have not gotten in my Rev Up Your Revenue free group yet, it's in the title to this. I put it in the pinned comment as soon as we're done here. Yes, Nikki, MC Hammer. Where's my hammer pants? Come join us over there. When you go to creatorsroadmap.com, you'll get video 1 and 2 emailed to you so that you can get caught up. You'll get a link to the Facebook group. And then we have video 3 coming out on Friday. The video that dropped today is my favorite. It talks about Oprah and Joanna Gaines. I mean, who doesn't love those women, Oprah and Joanna Gaines? And it talks about what we can glean from their businesses and what we as smaller business owners can see that they've done and be like, oh, yes, 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 JoJo, you're so brilliant. So you want that video. And then if you're in the group, come Friday, we've got the quiz that I just can't quit talking about because it's so amazing. And I still can't believe that I dreamed it up. So anyhow, so come join us over there, okay? Bye, guys. I will see you tomorrow.